At this point, you probably realize the massive demand in AI. Going back to 2022 when ChatGPT had just came out, people were primarily using it for homework assignments, writing up emails, or asking basic questions. And now in 2025, businesses are using it all over the world in their daily operations. I built a whole company around it, and then these big companies are investing billions into AI development. And every week you're probably waking up to a new software company that's just been funded millions of dollars, or you're waking up to a new hack or new tools that had just come out. There's so much going on into the AI space, so it's very easy to get lost in all these tools. And so what I'm going to be doing today is covering MCP, which stands for Model Context Protocol, which is a brand new technology that came out in 2025, which revolutionizes how agents use tools. Right now, if you've played around with AI agents, you can kind of call one tool at a time and you connect to a bunch of different tools. But with MCP, you basically connect to one endpoint that has access to hundreds of tools. So this completely changes the game. And I've partnered with Storm MCP. I'm going to be covering how the platform works, how easy it is to use and connect all these different apps and then implement it into Claude Desktop. And if you're not familiar with Claude Desktop, it's very similar to ChatGPT. It's just not by OpenAI, it's by Anthropic, so they use different models. This is going to be a real business use case, an absolute game changer on how you get your tasks and your work done all directly from Claude Desktop. And if you're new to the channel, my name's Elliot. I'm an AI entrepreneur based out of San Diego, California. I'm running Manyflow AI, and I'm also an AI educator and content creator here on YouTube. So in the description down below is going to be a link to my free AI Skool community, which includes all of my YouTube resources and templates. We have around 300 members there, and there's software engineers, there's AI developers, there's other entrepreneurs in there. It's really a variety of people getting into the AI space. So I definitely recommend you checking that out. And with all that being said, let's just dive into this video. So we're going to jump into Storm MCP. It's going to be the first link in the description down below. And you're going to click on Get Started or Sign In. I'm just going to sign in because I already have an account. And what we're going to be able to do is connect AI with multiple tools in minutes. As you can see, we could already see all these tools and all these apps here. You can see some familiar ones like Slack, Twilio, Vappy. And if you scroll down, you get some more developer-heavy ones as well. This is more of an enterprise-grade MCP, but it could be used for everyday tasks as well. Keep scrolling down here, we see a lot of applications. So what we're going to do is actually just select we're just like Notion and Airtable. Those are going to be the two platforms, the two apps that we're going to be using today. So I'm going to go for Notion over here. And then you're going to see a configure button. So I'm going to click on edit for me. And you're going to see it's going to ask for your API key. Now, in order to do this, you're going to want to go to this link up here. Again, this is all going to be in the description down below. And you're going to select New Integration. You're going to name it whatever you'd like, and you select your associated workspace. And then you can click on Save. Once you have it set, you're going to go to the capability section here, and then we're going to put on read comments, insert comments. I just like having everything on here. And then you want to go to the Access tab over here. You're going to select the pages. And then here you'll be able to access your entire Notion. So this could be your team space or your private stuff. Again, I would select all for this as well. I've already done it on my previous one, so I'm not going to do it. And you're going to grab the API key that's over here. You're going to show it and copy it. And we're going to paste it right in here. And then click on Save Changes. And so what that did is now we're allowing Storm MCP to have access to our Notion. And then when we connect it with Claude, it'll read all of our Notion, add things, create pages, remove things if we want. So that's done for the Notion side of things. Now I'm going to look for Airtable. Type that in. Again, I'm going to click on Edit. And now to get the Airtable API key, we're going to go to Airtable. Go to your home dashboard on Airtable. Select your account. Look for Builder Hub over here. And then you're going to want to create a token up here. And then you're going to name it. And then you're going to want to select every single scope here. I always do this. You just keep selecting each scope. And then select the base that you want this API key to have access to, and you're going to create your token. Once you create your token, you're going to copy it and paste it into here. Now the next step is actually going to gateways. This is going to be us creating our actual endpoint that's going to be connecting those two apps. So you can click on New Gateway, you name it whatever you'd like, and then you're going to select the apps that you configured already. So I already did Airtable and Notion, which is what we did with our API keys. And then I have YouTube transcript on here, but I'm not going to use it. So you're going to select these two. And then you're going to name it maybe like My New Gateway Test. And then I'm going to click on Next. And then here we can see actually all of the API calls that we're going to have access to. So for Airtable, we have list records, search records, list the bases. We have all of these that we're going to want Claude to be able to access. So what I like to do is just select all here. And then same thing for Notion. We can see all of the other APIs we can call. So instead of actually calling these each manually, like how we previously do when we play around with large language models, is now we call one endpoint and it has access to all of this. So I'm going to select all here as well, and we can click on create. And now you're going to be given a endpoint right here. We're not going to copy it just yet, because what we can actually do is if we go to the gateway, we can see these three options down here. We have add to cursor, Claude code, and Claude Desktop. So I'm going to select this third option here. We're going to select local config with API key. And now we basically have it all done for us. We have our configuration here. All we have to do is copy this and then paste it into the Claude Desktop configuration. But I'm actually just going to stop here, and we're going to go to the next steps now, which is just going to be to install node.js. So you're going to go over to this link over here. Again, it's going to be all in the description down below. I'm on Mac, so I select Mac OS installer. You follow the few steps that it requires, you install it, and then you'll be able to run this in Claude Desktop. And the reason why we do need to have node.js downloaded is because it gives us a runtime to run JavaScript outside of our browser. So this is just going to allow us to run the Storm MCP tool inside of Claude. So once you have that all done, again, make sure to download Claude Desktop as well. So it's going to go here, Claude Desktop, download. We'll select this option here. And then you want to go to Mac OS and download it. And so once you open up Claude Desktop, it's going to look something like this. You're going to want to make sure to log into your account. I'm on the Pro plan down here. You do have to have the Pro plan to be able to access tools and developer apps. So keep that in mind. You are going to have to use the Pro plan here. And so I'm already on the plan. So I'm going to go to settings over here. Go to, as you can see, desktop app, developer. These are the things that you need the Pro plan for. So you click on developer. And as you can see, I already have my local MCP servers already running. So what I'm going to do and what you're going to do is just create a new one, edit config, and you're going to see all these files that open up, and you're going to select the one that's already selected. And then you're going to have this open up, and you're essentially going to want to paste in what we had from Storm MCP, which was this right here. You're going to copy it, and then we're just going to paste it directly into VS Code. You don't have to be using VS Code. I just have it downloaded. You could be using a text editor, whatever when you open that file, just paste in that configuration that Storm MCP provides, and then just save it. Make sure to save this. Close that out, and then we're going to quit Claude Desktop. We have to make sure that this refreshes. So make sure to go and quit this app and then reopen it. Let's go here, quit. So I've just gone ahead and reopened Claude, and now we're going to see if this actually works, if we did this correctly. I'm going to say list all the tools you have access to. Let's see what it says here. And so now it's saying it has access to Notion, has access to Airtable. So that means that we have successfully been able to connect Storm MCP with Claude Desktop. And so now we can actually start playing around with this now that we know that this works. So I'm going to go to my Airtable, one of my Airtable bases here. Tutorial. And as you can see, I have two tasks. I have make a YouTube video, write John's email, and this one's in progress. So I'm recording my YouTube video. So let's just say that this task is now complete. So I'm going to go over to Claude. Please check my YouTube video task to done. I finished it. So let's see. We're going to start with a very simple task here for Claude. Let's see if it's able to do this. Okay, could you tell me, is it stored in Notion or Airtable? It's in Airtable. Okay, it's just asking for some more context here. Okay. And now when you see this pop up here, this is basically saying it's basically calling that tool. So right now it's listing the bases. These are one of the APIs that were configured when we configured the Storm MCP, is listing the base. So it's finding the base, and then it's finding the table, and it's searching our records. So every time you see one of these messages, it's just calling a different API. So that's why MCP is so powerful, because I asked for one thing and it pulled all these tools. Instead of calling one tool at a time, it was able to do this. And at the end here, it says, perfect, I've successfully updated your make a YouTube video task status from in progress to done. Okay, so let's go check that out. And as you can see, it now is shown up as done. So I'm going to jump into a little more of some more work for Claude here, go a little more complex. I'm going to say, okay, perfect, please write me an email template for writing up proposals. Make it short and sweet. Okay, so right now I'm just asking Claude to create my email template for me. And then we're going to ask it to put this in Notion ourselves. So if I go to Notion and show you how this looks, we can see that I have a Welcome John intern page, an onboarding checklist, and some learning resources. And I'm going to want this email template that I don't want to write myself. I want Claude to do it. I'm going to have it linked over here. So let's see how the email template looks. Okay, That's fine. That seems to be a pretty basic template. Great. Now I need you to take this email, make a new page in Notion, and link it to my John intern page under the learning resources section. Okay, so we're going to give it a little more of a complex task here. And again, I'm being very specific for the purpose of this video, but as you kind of conversate with Claude more, and it already knows what you do, where your Notion things are, how you're using Airtable. So it won't always just kind of ask to clarify. It'll just know. Right now, for the purpose of this video, I'm just making it very clear of what I need to do. But yeah. So right now it's pulling up some APIs. It's doing this post search, post page. Okay. And it's nice how it kind of breaks it down so we can really see how Claude is thinking here and how it's connecting to the Storm MCP. Okay, here it says, perfect, I've successfully created the new proposal email template page with all the content. Okay, so what we can go ahead and do is check on Notion right now. And we can see that I have proposal email template right here. Now instead of setting it here, it set it right below, but these are things we could probably ask it to move for us. If I click on this template, we can actually see that this is the template that Claude was able to write. Perfect, so that's done. That is now added to the onboarding checklist for the learning resources section. And now I'm just gonna say, great, please mark my other task as done in Airtable. Okay, because if I go to Airtable, we now wrote John's email. Let's go back and let's see how it behaves and how it performs here. Okay, it found the task. I can see you have another task, write John's email, which is currently set to do. Perfect, I've successfully updated it to done. Okay, let's go check that out. And we can see that it is now done. So MCP is like the new open standard. Many platforms are rallying around it. It's kind of like USB-C, but for AI. And as you can see how easy this was to set up and how powerful this tool is, it calls one endpoint and it just lists all the tools that are available. So we can connect a lot more apps into Storm MCP and all that be directly connected to Claude. And if we go back to Storm MCP really quickly, if you go to the observability section here, this tab, you can actually see a lot more accuracy. We have the average response time, total requests. We have a whole analytics dashboard here, essentially showing us the gateway traffic. So you can go really much more deeper into this. And we also have a logging tab up here where we can see the last time a tool was called. So the last tool that I called was Airtable, update a record. We're updating that task to done. And it's all tracked here as well. And you can filter by your gateways. You can search for a specific one. So super powerful stuff. Definitely recommend checking them out. It's going to be the first link in the description down below. And if you made it till the end of the video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. And I will see you all in the next video.